when you first saw that I was trying to be an influencer
Yeah.
as one of your old employees, what was your thoughts when you saw that I was
my
starting
first
doing
thought,
content creation?
There is one very clear thought, and it's, why didn't you grow my business to 50K in 6 months? Because I would have loved that. No,
My
I'm just
bad.
kidding.
My
No.
bad.
Welcome back to Weddings Unwrapped, the show where we dive into the stories behind the businesses that started from nothing but a dream. I'm Daniel Driggs, and I am your host. I am also the owner of Crisp Catering and the Northampton House. Today, I have a special guest with me, Sarah Sweeten. She is a great friend of mine. She helped me start Crisp, which is amazing. And she has been just such a support to both Crisp and the Northampton House, and is just such a good friend. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm excited. This is my first podcast, Daniel.
Well, thank you.
And I was stressed as I was driving here, but I was so grateful it's with you. Like if anyone was going to sit down and do this with me, I am like the most comfortable with you. So I'm excited.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're making me
I
feel
get
better.
nervous. I get nervous half the time, so that's perfect.
So we'll see how you do.
Yeah.
But my name is Sarah Sweeten. I grew up in Holiday, Utah, went to Olympus High School with Daniel, actually.
Titans to the end.
And his sister-in-law is my best friend. So we go way back.
Yeah.
Seems like family at this point.
Yeah.
And after high school, I attended Utah State University. And at that point, I thought I was going to study special education. And then I served a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in California. Came home, transferred to UVU to live the whole Provo life,
Yes.
and ended up graduating in marketing with a minor in event planning, which worked out perfect for what I've done with you and what I'm doing now. And met my husband, and now we're on our influencer journey. So that's kind of how I got here.
That's fun. It's funny. So yeah, right. We met each other. Were you just home from your mission? Was it before your mission? I'm trying to remember.
Right
It's been years.
after.
Okay.
We might have met before.
We knew each other before, and we knew of each other, but then, we have that, right after your mission, you and your friends all start working for me, are my best workers. I'm like, these guys are it. And then,
It was so fun.
And then when I started Crisp, it was like, guys, I need you to help me start this company.
We were so excited. We were there day one.
Yes.
What are you naming this company? What are you serving?
Yes.
But it's fun. It was the best group of people. We were all friends and so excited to work for you. So It was fun. It was crazy, but it was fun.
Yes. I have a story that pops into my head that I'm going to share. That's my favorite.
Okay, I want to hear.
I remember calling you, and I'm like on a walk outside of the business. I'm like, hey, are you going to join this new company with me? And it was like, you were so supportive. And that's one of the things that I think you're so good at, is supporting people in their dreams, their aspirations, and everything else. And then we started Crisp, and initially we were at my parents' house taste testing all of that food in my parents' kitchen. And then we started filming content in my garage for like paninis and stuff. It's hilarious.
And now you own a wedding venue, and your catering company is huge, and you're killing it. So I'm proud of you.
It's been very fun.
We've come a long way.
We've come a long way from my garage. So dreams are possible. Adventures out there for sure. But yes, dreams are possible. So what was your original position? Talk to me about your positions working kind of up the ladder in both companies.
Okay, so beforehand, when I first started working with you, I was just an everyday shift worker working at weddings. So behind the soda bar, serving soda, and it was fun. I loved it. I loved the people side of it, and it was awesome. And I've always loved doing social media. So at that time, I started doing a little bit more of the posting, getting content at events. And then when I came over with you to Crisp, I was full-time doing your social media, and then also kind of handling your collaborations. So I remember doing all of your collaborations with wedding planners and florists and anyone in the wedding world. And I loved it because I got to establish those relationships with people. And then whatever you randomly needed throughout the week. And it was fun.
Yes. No, starting a business is wearing a billion hats. And I was grateful. I had some people that would kind of work with me on my crazy ideas and different thoughts, and Panini Man Dan and like all of these random ideas we had. It's fun. And I was grateful to work with you on that. So yeah, you kind of became the face of Crisp for the first year and a half, 2 years, and did all of our social media. We're in all of our ads constantly. You got stopped like, hey, I didn't, congrats, or like you'd be a bride and you had not been married yet, or like things like that. That's just, you're all over our feed. And we loved that.
I do, for context of kind of what I was doing, we would be at these weddings and we get permission from the bride and groom before, but it would be like 5 minutes before the wedding would happen, and I'd be standing in front of the fry bar, and I would be like, here at Crisp Catering, we sell fries. And I would do that. I'd mess up, and the cameraman would say, one more take, and I'd have to do it again in front of everybody watching me.
Yes.
And I was dying. All the shift workers watching me. But I was grateful for that because I
we
just had to
were
learn.
way too close. We'd zoom way too close to your face, and that was just how all of our ads were, and it was great.
It was good. But yeah, lots of videos of me in front of a fry bar talking about why brides should get fries.
Yes, and they got a lot of fries.
They did.
That was
it was good.
That's been a huge win. So then you kind of shifted. So you stopped working at Crisp. And you go, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be an influencer. Walk me through that process, that leap of faith, the insecurity, all of that led to that decision.
That's a good question. I feel like there's been a lot of things that have led me to wanting to do social media. I was the girl in high school that for my 18th birthday, I made everyone do a music video with me. Like I was like, we're doing a music video. All my friends, you have to do it. It's my birthday. And senior trip choir tour, I was the one filming, making content. I always just thought it was so fun. And then I also contribute largely working for you, giving me the confidence to do it because I always wanted to, but I was worried about what people would think, what people would say. Am I good enough to do it? And putting me in front of that camera and just making me do it. And I know I only have a couple tries before the wedding starts, gave me the confidence. And so I was married. I felt safe with a good family and a good husband that this is the time to do it. So I went on Amazon, bought myself pink cowgirl boots, bought myself a dress I'd saved up for, got the cheapest photographer I could, had to drive 2 hours to go get the photos done, and did a little launch photo shoot. And I remember thinking, if I'm going to do social media, I am going to do it full out.
Wow.
And I knew people would already talk about me. I knew the holiday community that we grew up in would be talking. I knew people from high school would be talking. But in my mind, if people are going to talk, I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to say, kind of my catchphrase from the beginning has been, watch me fail or watch me succeed. And they'd already be talking, did you see Sarah's trying to be an influencer? So why not admit it and like let them watch? Like I will either crash and burn so hard in front of everybody, or I might succeed. But either way, I'm going for it. So that's kind of the route I took, and was sitting on my parents' couch with them when I first pressed the post button, and then died with embarrassment. But it was okay. We're here now.
Well, I love that you said you knew people were going to talk. And one of my favorite quotes is, people have to talk about you because their lives are not interesting enough to talk about themselves. It's one of my favorite quotes. And so the truth is, be interesting. And interesting adds to this world. It creates, it's exciting. It's fun. It's building. It's unique. It's what's so beautiful about this world. And just always going by the status quo or whatever else. Yeah, it's safe, but it doesn't, you're not adding to the world when you're doing what everyone else is doing. And so, yes. And it's fun to see. I think both you kind of see who your friends and enemies are in that scenario, because there's people talking about you going, are you kidding me? look what Sarah Sweeten's doing. This is the most amazing thing ever. She went from 0 followers to thousands overnight. And then there's also the people that are like, oh, she buys her followers or whatever
she's
else.
cringy.
Yeah, she's cringy, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you expect this type of growth? Did you expect to post your first thing and then all of a sudden it blows up? Because like that first 1,000 cake where you make this cake
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, now I'm going to make a cake every 1,000. It's like, okay, we're at 5,000.
Yeah.
That was
2 days
fast.
later at
Yes.
3K. Yeah.
Yes. Did you expect that?
My husband and I at the time were living in my cute 92-year-old grandma's basement, and we were sitting in the car in the driveway. And I remember talking to my husband about my goals. And my dream was 12K. That would be 1,000 followers a month. My goal was 10K. For some reason, I felt like if I had the K on the end, that I was like official. Like I'm like, okay. So my goal was 10K in a year. And then my husband's like, what are your big dreams? And we talked about 50K and 100K. And this is actually kind of a funny story, but I think I should share it.
Yeah.
Because we thought my growth would take so long, I have always wanted a designer bag. And people can think that's lame or whatever, but for me, that was never something I thought I would have in my life. So as a reward, I was like, I really want to get myself a designer bag someday. So my husband looks at me and he's like, when you hit 50K, I'll get you a designer bag.
Funny.
And when you hit 100K, we'll go on a trip and we'll celebrate. Because in our heads, this is going to be 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
And now I just hit 50K and he's probably dying. He's like, oh
like,
no.
I don't have the money. I don't know
We
where
don't
I'm
have the
getting
money for a
this.
designer bag. So we'll see if the designer bag thing happens or not. But regardless of that, I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it going that way. One thing I didn't know is I was going to give it everything. But the hard thing with social media or even with starting a company and doing catering or having a venue, you can give it everything. You can like give everything to your company. You can have the best employees. But you don't always know that people are going to book you for their wedding day. You don't always know that just because you're making quality content that people are going to follow. So I knew I would give it everything, but having it be this growth, I would have never guessed. But I'm so grateful. I'm like so excited. And that's honestly, I have worked really hard on my account, but I also have the nicest community of girls who are like rallying against me. Like every time I gain another 1,000 followers, they're immediately in my DMs. You hit 1,000 followers 30 minutes ago, make another cake. And they're excited for me. And that's given me the motivation to keep going. They're like the best.
Cool.
Like I have the nicest girls, like some of my closest friends now. So it's been fun.
That's cool. It's interesting because you kind of hit on a couple of things and your page has adapted over time. Like,
Yes.
yeah, you had the original couple videos. The quality has improved. Everything's improved.
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that you have done really well is the goal is, yeah, we want more followers. We want more eyes on us, but the quality has to reach those new heights. And you've done that.
Thank you.
What do you think helped with growing your helped most with growing that personal brand or growing, what was the most catalyst?
Yeah.
Yes, nugget.
I think there's a lot of girls who want to be influencers or who want to be content creators. But it is like a cringy, awkward thing to start. Like I'll be the first to admit that. And so you see a lot of girls out there who will just randomly start posting links or who will start kind of posting fashion content or whatever it may be. But you don't see too many people just being honest about it and saying, I know it's awkward, but I want to be an influencer.
Yeah.
And this is my dream. Again, like the watch me fail or watch me succeed thing. And I think people like to see that. They like to see someone who is like honest about it. I'm doing social media right now, but I'm also a part-time maid and I'm scrubbing toilets and my husband and I have a pavement company we're trying to grow.
Yes.
And I think involving people in the process is what I would love to see if I was a consumer and sharing with them. I just got my first PR package. I got invited to my first influencer event. Come with me to get paid to go out of state for the first time to model. Come with me to do these different things. And I think that has really helped with my growth is just being honest. Like, I don't think a lot of people say that. So I think that's helped a ton.
Well, one of the things is I don't think you gatekeep anything. Like the fact that you're just like, all right, this is how it works. This is how you get PR
Grill me
packages.
with some more questions,
Yeah, you could
Daniel.
be like, that you could literally be like, all right, here's how much we make. Like you would, that is so refreshing for people to see. And yeah, it's very interesting demographic is just complete honesty. And it's so refreshing in such a extreme world. Now, one of the reasons we have you on this podcast is a lot of the people that listen are business owners. And as everyone kind of knows, creating your own personal brand or working with influencers are two massive ways. They're different, but two massive ways to grow that business and things like that. And so that's why, so I'm going to ask more questions about that, but that's, I wanted to give the viewers just kind of why we have an awesome influencer on a wedding podcast. I just was thinking about that.
Honored.
And it was like, yes, no, because we want to know the ins and outs. How do you even find influencers? How do you, the right influencers, everything like that. We'll dive into that in a second because I'm very curious on that. But
and thank you for having me on. Thank you for taking a risk on me and having me be one of them.
This is such a risk, guys. Sarah is just the most personable person ever.
Sarah Sweeten might say some, who knows?
This is awesome. So one of the things, jump back into kind of your brand and growth, is people see the fun parts.
Yes.
Influencing is so fun. You get to put all this energy in that 1-minute video. What are the difficult parts for you? What are the painful parts of being an influencer?
I'm glad you're talking about that because I do feel like, especially with the people who know me personally in my life and in general, that side was highlighted more. For me, when I started that account, I felt sick about it because I'm putting myself out there in such brave ways. You're not surprised. I'm getting emotional. No, you've dealt with me for years. But there were people in my life who I thought would be my ride or dies, who would be supporting me, who would be cheering me on. And so when I started my social media, I found comfort in, at least I know I have my family and these friends. And the day after I started my account, someone who meant so much in my life ended up ending our relationship completely. And that was really hard for me. Just saying, I don't want to know how much money you're making. I don't want to see the stuff that you're getting sent. And this is just too much for me, so I need some space. And I was really hoping that as time would go on, that I'd still have this person and these people in my life. And it hasn't been the case. And that was the hardest thing. And it will be the hardest thing for me with my account is there are people who want to see you succeed and want to see you grow. And there might be some people who don't. And I don't know your experience with you starting your company and with you having this amazing venue and you succeeding, because Daniel, you've succeeded. Like there's so many people who want to do exactly what you're doing right now and you're doing it. And so for some people that might be hard. So that was one part of it, is just learning that sad truth, for me at least. I don't know if that is for everyone. So. But I think the other side, I knew there would be hate comments. I knew that would be a part of social media. One part I didn't expect as much was sharing my faith online and the love and support that would bring, but also the hate and negativity that would bring for something that I consider so special in my life. Yeah. And that was really hard. And you'll see that I'm still trying to navigate that on my page right now, like how much I share of my faith and my relationship with the Savior, because the hate comments were really hard. Yeah. So I think just between support from people and then hate comments, and then also just the balance of keeping going. There's days that you're not growing. There's days that it's really hard, or my mental health in the winter was really not in a good spot. Yeah. And it was hard to jump on the camera every day. And I feel like some people see so much of me online that they're not asking me questions when they see me in person. Like, how are you doing? Or like, what have you been up to lately?
It's like, we know.
You know, because they feel like they know. And I understand. I'm like, I'm posting my wake up with me, come here with me. I filmed the video of me coming to the podcast today. Like, I totally understand. But sometimes I feel like it has hurt relationships in a sense that they're not asking. I don't know how to describe it.
There's a lot of like studies about how, and specifically this study is on how males and females communicate and how they connect. And females connect through talking about the problem. So that's why when you ever go like, I'm solving your problem, the guy goes, and guys,
Daniel, you should be our marriage therapist.
Well, this is the only marriage therapy I'm ever giving. I'm
Daniel.
in the wedding world, so I have zero credibility on this. So I get to just say what I want because it's my podcast. So it's fun.
You go for it. Mike is yours.
One of the things is guys feel connection through solving the problem. That's why when you're like, Bass, I'm hurting, and he goes, well, have you tried this? And you go, you don't listen.
It's true.
It's because there's that connection of just talking and being in it and being in the pain and everything else. And that's probably something that you're hurting for because, yes, they're like, oh, I already know. And you're like, no, I just need to sit in it. I just want to talk with someone. I just want to connect with someone, even if they already know. I just want to talk about it. I want to reconnect. That's really interesting effect of just kind of what you're going through.
Yeah.
And
I will say though, like overall, the pros of my social media have outweighed the cons tremendously.
Yeah.
For every hate comment I've got, I have the most supportive, kind people from my high school that I was still friends with, not super close, who have been so kind. And people from my mission or from college or people I used to work with here at CRISP who are like rallying behind me and supporting me. And I have also met amazing friends. So for anyone who's thinking of doing social media, there have been things that are hard, but way more good. So I want to end that on a positive note after I started crying.
I totally get that. And I think most people do, or else you wouldn't keep doing it.
Yeah.
You can always shut off an account and be done. Yes. That's the good news about social media is it shouldn't be a just kind of, but all work feels a little bit like work.
Yeah.
It just is. So have you ever doubted this path since starting? Have there ever been doubts and insecurities?
For sure. There have, but when I look at my account, I am looking at like 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
And I want big things for my future family. And I know that if I stick with this, I hopefully will be able to provide that. So yeah, like this winter, if you go look past on my account, I definitely took it slower. My mental health was not good. Winters are not good for me. I need the sun. I need all things happy. Winter was like not my time. And so for me, it might have meant slower growth, but it was just, that's what I needed at that time. But I look at it knowing I will be doing social media for the next 20 years. And I want to live in a beautiful home one day. I want to be able to take my family to Hawaii on a trip.
Yeah.
I want to be able to get the designer bag. And people can think that's shallow, but I'm like, if I can make myself, if I can work hard enough to get there,
yes.
Why wouldn't I?
It's an arbitrary thing anyway.
We'll do some good things with the money too.
Yes.
But no, so definitely there are times when it's hard, but I also think that's okay. I'll just take my account slower.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So let's talk now working with brands. So how do brands find you? Mm-hmm. How do they work best with you? What are the brands that you've liked? Like what styles of brands? We can call them out if we want. And you can be like, I love these people. But yeah, what are the do's and don'ts as a business or working with the business coming to you and talking with you? Yeah. So
the two ways that I will become in contact with brands is either through them just DMing me or using my work email. Okay. Most content creators will have their work email in their bio. And they either handle all of their collabs themselves or with management. Right now, I am handling all of my collaborations myself. Fine. So if Daniel reaches out to me and he wants to collab on... Yes, on a podcast. No, if you just texted me, but if you want to collab on something like that, I handle it right now. So I would say these are my prices or this is how I do exchanges. And I'm the one who's handling it back and forth. Cool. I would say using the work email is going to get you to the content creator faster. And for me, a big thing of why I do or don't work with a company is strictly if it aligns with me. I remember I was at about like 18,000 followers, I think at the time, and I got my biggest brand deal yet. I hadn't had a ton of paid opportunities at that time. And if I had, they'd been pretty small. And this company reaches out And I was so excited about the money, but it was a clothing product I would never wear. And I remember having to turn it down, but I believe that I will make more sales in the future. I will be a more successful content creator, and I will be able to monetize more if I only share things I truly love. And so if you reach out to an influencer and they say no, it might just not be perfectly aligned with them.
Yeah.
But you want to find people who are hyped to promote your products and who you're excited to work with as well.
Yeah.
So there are companies I don't charge anything for. That will probably change. I'm hoping to get management in the future, but I'm just so excited to work with Ivy City Co. and to get to promote their dresses because they have been nothing but so kind and supportive to me.
Yes.
So that's what I have to say. Did that answer your question?
Totally.
Okay.
And that leads me to the other side. So some companies offer trades and things like that. And probably most companies would rather offer a trade than offer cash or anything else. What was it like, especially when you were a micro influencer, now you're
Still
a little
micro.
bit more? No. What was it like trying to make money and support yourself and support livelihood as that has kind of,
That is my current biggest thing I'm focusing on right now. And it's been hard. I feel like a lot of people see a number and they just associate it with like, oh, they must be making so much money.
Yeah.
Up until recently, a lot more of my stuff has just been gifted. So I have been so lucky to get some of the coolest things ever for free. But that also doesn't mean I am bringing in money to support me and my husband's pavement company or to pay our rent every month.
Yeah.
And it's really fluctuates. Like December, I did great. January, the only thing I sold was protein powder. So it's like, which makes sense in January, but it's definitely ebbed and flowed. My biggest goal right now is to get management. I want a bunch of management companies to look at my page and to want to have me on their team.
Yes.
So keep an eye out. But if I had management, they would handle all of my collabs and help me get into bigger doors. And I could just focus on the content creation part. So that's my goal is before I have kids, I want to get management. So when I'm a mom, I can focus on just the content creation. So that's what we're manifesting. But we'll see.
Well, and you do like such a good job at that content creation piece. And
thank you.
Yes, it's fun to kind of hyper focus on what you do love. And this is in all business. Do what you love and are good at and can provide the most worth and outsource the rest or hire out the rest. That's the best business model ever is do what you want and hire out the rest. Have you had moments where you've said, I've made it? And has that lasted? Is there ever like, oh crap, I didn't?
That's
I thought I did.
Question.
Yes.
Yes, I have. There's been some big moments for me.
Yeah.
Getting my first PR package or Ivy City Co. being my dream company and working with them.
Yeah.
I've also had some cool collaborations with hotels and working with Snow Pine Lodge and being flown out to California for work there. Hitting 50K was a big one for me, and that was recently. I grew 12,000 followers in 5 days, and my goal was by August. And I still feel like I'm on cloud nine for that. I'm like, this is so awesome. I'm so grateful. But it is a hard thing to not keep getting in your head because now that I'm at 50K, I'm like, what's my next goal? Where am I going to get? Which I think is awesome. And I like that about myself, but I also want to be better about being proud of myself and being like, I hit 50K. Like I would have like 2 weeks ago, I was dreaming of that and now you're there.
Yes.
So I do have big goals. I want to do management. I would love to go on a brand trip. That sounds so cool to me. I always joke with my husband that I want to pay for the down payment of our home. Like when we buy a home, like I always tell him, like tease him, like I'm going to be the biggest influencer ever. And I'm going to do that. We're nowhere near that right now. But so I have huge goals, but we'll see where it goes.
Well, you married a great guy because he's very supportive in a lot of those goals. And walk me through, just let's talk relationship for a second. Mm-hmm. How has that been? He's starting a brand new company. That's hard, difficult. You're starting a brand new company, brand and everything else. How have you guys tried to support each other? How has that as a relationship been?
We were actually talking about this yesterday. We went to the Bees game, and while we were driving there, we were talking about how we love that we're both starting our own companies in a sense and growing these things, but it's also hard. A lot of people, when they're starting a company, they have one partner who's working and one who's pursuing the dream in a sense. And for us, we are both trying to grow. And it's been the coolest thing because we love talking about it to each other. And I am his biggest fan. I am so proud of him. He has built a pavement company from zero to something really awesome. And I love
was going to say that is our sponsor today.
Our sponsor is Bass Pavement.
Yes, Bass Pavement is our sponsor. No, he did our entire parking lot here, and it's beautiful. And and he's so easy to work with. So I'm actually giving a plug for Bass. He's amazing.
He's the best. Easiest
person to work with. So awesome. Has helped us out a bunch. So we're really grateful for him and that. But yes,
it's been good. We support each other. He really sacrifices to be there with me. And even last night there was an influencer event, and he is slammed right now. The summer is his busy season, and he made an effort to be there. And it's not that he cares to go to these influencer events and make custom hats and all this stuff, but he's there supporting me. And I hope that I'm doing the same for him. And it comes with his challenges, but I'm really hoping in years to come that it will be something good for our family. So
That's cool. If you could go back in time and give yourself a piece of advice, one piece of advice, you have 10 seconds, what would that be to the Sarah that's starting off this, just this journey?
Just to have fun with it from the beginning and just enjoy it more. I think at the beginning, because of my hard situations, I was super in my head.
Yeah.
And now I post what I want, and I click the post button, and it's more just about what's fun to me. And if it does, a post does well, great. And if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I wish at the beginning I would have had that mentality more. So probably just have fun and just be you.
Yeah.
So cheesy.
No, that's great. That's great. What advice would you give to someone who's just on the ledge, just wanting to take that leap, but is seeing those scary monsters, everything else?
Yes.
What advice would you give to them?
Whether you're a business owner wanting to start a business or whether you're wanting to start an account, and I don't claim to be a pro, but I get a lot of DMs of girls wanting to start accounts, and they say, I want to start, where do I start? The biggest thing is just starting.
Yeah.
There are so many girls that DM me saying they want to start, and they DM'd me a year ago and they still haven't started. And so I'm a perfectionist. I want everything to be exactly how it is. But the biggest thing is just start making paninis in your garage.
Yes.
Like just start figuring it out. But that momentum will come.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner, stop waiting for everything to be perfect to start your company. Start reaching out to the influencers. Start catering for your family's events.
Yes.
So that would be my biggest thing is there's going to be other girls who are going to beat you to it if you don't start your account. So start your account.
That's cool. That's great. What's your funniest influencer story?
Funniest influencer story. I don't know if I have a funny influencer story other than just funny things people have commented that I'm just like blown away by, whether it's about the church or whether it's about me as a person. I've been able to meet some funny people, some really cool people because of it. But the funny side is what's not filmed. All of the bad takes of my videos, all of the behind the scenes is probably the most entertaining part. So maybe I need to start posting more of that. Yeah.
Yes, fair.
So
that's funny. Okay, well, I have one more question for you.
Okay, I'm pausing you.
Okay.
Actually, you're like, what are you doing? I want to ask a couple questions to you. I asked your team before this.
I love it. I love it.
So I want my audience to know a little bit more about you. We've mentioned like why is Sarah on a wedding podcast right now? And I've mentioned a little bit about you, but kind of what you do and everything. So my first question is just what kind of food does Crisp Cater serve? What is Crisp Catering?
Yeah, so we're reception style food. So we can do wedding dinners, we can do everything else, but we are excellent at reception style food. You grab some food, you get food fast. We feed 300 people in a few minutes. You guys are good at that. Yes. So for us, it's way more about the experience. So we have paninis, fries, donuts, crepes, kind of anything you'd want. But it's the experience. We're making a lot of the food right in front of you. We have people behind the bars.
Got it all.
Yeah, talking with you. It's way more about the experience than it is even about, because it's your wedding day.
It should be.
Yes.
It's a special day for people. And
yes.
On a side note, I used Crisp for my wedding.
Yes.
They catered my wedding, and I love
first
that
ever
I've
taco
actually
bar.
Yeah,
yes.
first ever
and
taco
now
bar.
we do hundreds of them.
I
love
know,
it.
It's so fun. So I love your setup. I love all of your products. Really quickly, just because I worked here, they do fries, they do paninis, tacos, milkshakes. What else do you do? Donuts.
We're getting rid of milkshakes, sadly, but donuts,
everything,
crepes,
the best. Go follow them on Instagram.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, next question for you. If you could pick only one item on your menu,
fries.
This is your last.
Fries.
Fries. I'm with you on that. With the
it's so good. The
aioli.
sauces are, there's the lemon aioli, there's the Kalamata sauce, and then there is homemade fry sauce. So we make everything in-house, and it's so good and so fun.
Okay, well, our last meal will both be the fries from Crisp.
Deal.
Okay, what sets Crisp apart from any other catering company? If someone's on the fence, who to work with, why Crisp?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, again, is weddings are all about emotion. It's the feeling of the event, and we're not going to be everyone's feeling. I'm not like going to be $150 plate where it's everyone comes in a full tux. Yeah. It's a reception. It's fun. It's lively. Our team's trained to have good conversations with everyone. They're nice.
You have
they're
fun food that everyone likes.
Fun food. Everyone likes it.
Which I think is
everyone
really nice.
eats. It's multiple servings per person. So no one's ever going to run out of food or be too hungry. And those are some of the differences that make us unique.
I think that's one of your pros for sure. First off, your soda bar. You do
Yeah,
your soda bar so well.
Say our soda's also
I
close.
love your soda bar, but just even with all of your food, they're all fan favorites. Like at my wedding, everyone was like, "This is so fun. I wish more weddings had food like this." So I think that's cool.
Thank you.
Okay, this one's kind of, when you first saw that I was trying to be an influencer as one of your old employees, what was your thoughts when you saw that I was starting doing content creation?
There is one very clear thought, and it's, why didn't you grow my business to 50K in 6 months? Because I would have loved that. No, I'm just kidding.
My bad.
It's so funny because you popped off so fast. And so I'm like,
hey, but you do get credit for that. You trained me.
I'll take all the
You
credit
had me
for
in my
it.
training stage. You got to bring me back now.
Believe me, your personal brand is so cool. A catering company, it's like you're following us for 1 minute and then you get married and then you're done. So I know you grew our catering brand so cool, but that was my first thought. It's like, this is amazing. But I always knew you had it. You had the it factor. That's why we had you do it. It was that simple. It's like, no, we knew you'd be successful.
My hype guy, Daniel.
Yes, no, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay, last question. This one's probably the most important, but out of all your employees, who's your favorite
of all
employee?
time? Yes, you.
Okay,
of course.
That's all I had to see.
Was that even hard? Yes.
That's
this
on
is great.
film.
Yes.
So,
no. It's saved forever. I don't think. Yes. Yes.
Those are all my questions for you. But I loved having you at my wedding. I think.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, you're just a good guy. You want the best for people. You want people's events to be good. You want to see others succeed. You've been nothing but supportive to me with my Instagram page. Whenever you see me, you're cheering me on. So I hope we both keep succeeding.
No, we'll keep
That's
succeeding. That's the good news. That's the good news. We'll just hang on to your coattails if we need to. We'll just, so what's next for the great Sarah Sweeten?
The great Sarah Sweeten, honorable title.
Yes.
I think my biggest goal right now is getting management. I want to focus more on the money making side, but also just more opportunities. Yeah. And that's why when there's a podcast option available, I'm trying to say yes to everything.
Yes.
And it's scary to do, but I'm glad I did it. So just keep saying yes to everything and hopefully getting management. And my goal is 100K by the end of the year. So
let's do it.
We'll see. It's a big goal.
Yeah.
But why not me? You know?
No, for sure.
We'll see.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you seriously so much for being on here. We've loved you working for us. We've loved, even some of the brand deals we've done where you come to a market and things like that. You've been so supportive. So we're really grateful for you. So thank you, Sarah. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Weddings Unwrapped. And if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a 5-star review or thumbs up, or however you watch your podcasts. Just like this, share this. We're grateful for all of you guys, and keep chasing your dreams. That is a wrap.